Hey everyone, welcome to the second edition of Awkward Advice with Sheila. First of all, I'd like to thank you all so much for all of your love and support. Keep those questions coming so we can keep the dialogue open. Today, I'm going to be talking about a sensitive subject, which is suicide, because today, September 10th, is World Suicide Prevention Day. And I'm sure we have all been affected by suicide in one way or another. This past December, I had a dear friend take her own life. She was a bright, funny, fantastic, wonderful, loving mom and friend. She was a fitness instructor who took her physical fitness very seriously, and she had this personality that was like so much larger than life. She was so dynamic and so magnetic. You just wanted to be around her. But Diana suffered with mental illness, and she struggled a lot. She did let her friends and family know. She was open about it, and she was seeking some mental health treatment. But ultimately, those internal struggles were too much for her and too overwhelming, and she died by suicide. I don't believe that Diana, along with many others, rationally or consciously take their own lives, which leads me to an important point, an important change that I think we could all make when we talk about suicide. The term committed suicide really carries along with it in a much bigger stigma, as though someone like Diana purposely did this, like committing a crime. Yes, back in the day, suicide was a crime. So that is where it came from, committed suicide. But we need to change that dialogue and bring that negative stigma away from it and take it in two different ways, or talk about it in two different ways. I first heard about this back in 2011 when I was on the Anderson Cooper daytime show with my kids to talk about grief through the holidays, and we were invited there with a few other families. So unbeknownst to me, I didn't know who everybody else was on the set, but we walk onto the set, and sitting like literally right next to me is Anderson Cooper's mom, who is Gloria Vanderbilt. And I was like, oh my goodness, like forget Anderson. I would have talked to Gloria a little bit. You know, I told her, I said, I saved every penny I had to buy your jeans. I just wish I could fit into them again. Not that I have them anymore, but she was wonderful to talk to. She was really sensitive to all of our stories, and she was there on a mission because her son Carter died by suicide when he was 23 years old. And she's done a lot of work with trying to remove that stigma of committing suicide, because she understood that Carter at the time was not having rational or conscious thoughts about taking his life. And she doesn't want other people to have to bear that stigma anymore. So that was the first time back in 2011 where she was asking the audience to please refer to it as someone who takes their own life or someone who dies by suicide. And I just wanted to share that with you because I think we all could just make that change in our dialogue, and it does help to bring a lot of the negative stigma away from the actual act. There's a website that is phenomenal that I really want you to look at. And this is a website. It's called conversationsmatter.com. Simple, easy, conversationsmatter.com. Go on that website. It gives you so much information about suicide awareness, prevention, what to say to someone who's grieving, what not to say to somebody who's grieving, something like similar to what I say in my book, but this is specifically for suicide. Gives you a lot of resources for prevention. So if you or someone you know is struggling with your mental health, please go on this website, conversationsmatter.com, and it will help to guide you and get you in the right direction to get some help. So that's it for now. I appreciate you watching again, and please make sure that you keep your questions coming because I really do appreciate it.